last time we left off, you were walking down the stairs towards the chanting. Having already made the plan to try the ritual which you have found to resurrect the dead girl, Rose. As you make your way down the stairs, you find yourself in an odd room. And much more interestingly, there's an interesting sensation, or rather a lack of. The moment you make your way down here, the chanting stops. Dead silent. You find yourself in a room with markings all around the walls, different occult signs and little phrases along the walls. And in each wall there are little insides with objects of occult meaning stored inside. Everywhere you see occult hijinks all along the wall. And in the middle in front of you, you see 3 different pedestals with other magic, occult doohickeys on them. And from this room, there are 2 different pathways leading away. One at the end of the room and one directly to your right. The chanting has stopped, so there's no indication where to go next.
Well, if there's occult items, that's sure interesting.
Okay, so what is Rika's reaction? What are you doing? Basically, you're in a room that can basically just be described as, oh my god, so much occultism. The walls are occult. Every object inside the wall looks kind of occult. There's 3 pedestals with occult thing. They're occult.
I'm gonna stuff as many things as I can into my pack.
Okay. Do you want to do this? Okay, we're doing this now then, I guess.
Yes,
okay.
We're doing this now.
Okay. Okay, so are you going along...
Well, wait. Before I do that, is there further rooms?
There are 2 different pathways. One at the end of this room, to the right of the 3 pedestals, and one immediately to your right, going somewhere else. There are other rooms, yes. If you are going to grab all the items, in which order are you going to do it? Are you going to go along the left wall and do a full circle, or the right wall?
So there was a path forward and there was a path to the right?
There's a path that's somewhat direct forward and, well, almost, in the way that it is... Technically, it is also going in the same direction, but it is much further in front of the room. Ultimately, they are going into those pathways are in the same wall. Along the same wall.
Alright, then I'm going to start with the left wall.
Okay, you're going along the left wall. You're also picking up the items on the pedestal, I'm guessing?
Pedestals, yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with the 5 items you pick up from going along the wall. First of all, you gain a small mummified hand with sharp claws on it.
Right.
Yes?
Yeah, a mummified hand.
Yes. Then you have a knife that seems to be carved from bones with different occult signs along it. Next is a dagger with a rat skull set into its pommel. Next you have something I have no idea what is, an aspergillum. Somebody like to clue the GM in as to what that exactly is?
Could you write it in the chat?
I will do so. I have no idea what that is. In fact, I'll do one better. I'll look it up. And then I'll tell you in simpler words.
I could also just do it myself. But alright.
Yeah, but I feel like I, as a GM, should probably know what this is. It's a liturgical implement used to sprinkle holy water. Ah, okay, so it's basically one of those things that you see priests have. Basically, a big spoon, but fancier. So yes, an aspergillum. I'll write it down still.
How do you write it? I can't.
I am writing it down, no worries. An aspergillum. A large spoon used by priests. And lasts, a folded cloak made from leather. But as he is going along the wall, basically picking out objects, going like, putting it in and going like, what the hell is an aspergillum? What are the other two doing? What is Saban and Septimus up to right now?
Taking care of the rats.
Alright.
Septimus is going to be studying the markings on the walls, the hieroglyphics, and the basically occult things.
Roll me intelligence.
While simultaneously being on alert. Okay. Just straight intelligence.
Just straight intelligence.
That should go well.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. This is undercommon. Although you don't understand it, it is so simplistic that even you can make out at least the vague meaning of it. Again, it feels like this is mostly for show and there's no real occult merit to any of this stuff, but it seems to actually be describing a occult initiation and seems to be talking about the 3 items you see on the pedestal. It also goes more into meaning what each of the items is meant to be used for. So I will explain that real quick before we basically cut. I'll explain to you what they do before basically you look away and they're all stashed away in Rika's pocket. You have an occult dagger that, again, black blade. It has actually the sign of... the similar sign that you saw on the cloaks with a maw. I think you're currently wearing them on it with, again, occult signs along it. This is meant to be taken by the initiate, and they are meant to cut open their own hand and let some of their blood go into the next relic, which is a ball which has occult signs along its rim and contains a red liquid inside right now. While wearing the third thing on the pedestal, which is a horned helmet, which again has occult signs along it as well. Then it says that once this is done, the initiate has to prove themselves. Anyway, cut over to Rika, who now has, during her raiding, has reached the 3 pedestals and is currently standing in front of the bowl with wet liquid inside. You take it? If so, how do you take it? What do you do with the liquid? Or he's just taking it and just pouring it into your satchel?
I mean, I'm not gonna do some occult ritual. Are you insane? I don't know what it does.
Yeah, exactly. Only an insane person would do a ritual without.
Stick it in the bag.
So you're doing what? You're basically putting it on the floor or something?
Yeah, just throw it on the floor and put it in.
Okay, so you take it, you throw the red liquid onto the floor. It splashes there, makes a marking, and as you do that, and you pocket it, right?
Yeah.
As you do that, to your left, around the to the left of the pedestal, you suddenly see a figure emerge, and I need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
Dark, shadowy figures emerge on both sides of the pedestals.
I can't control my token.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Can anybody else? In which case...
Nope.
Alright, let's try it. Let me try that again. Rika, Saban, Septimus.
Now we're in.
I know the size is wrong.
No, they were.
Can you control them now?
No.
I don't think they're on the right layer.
Oh, that would be the problem, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, they were under the line.
That would definitely be, yeah.
That's that.
Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah. We
Would you kindly, yes, position yourself there. There we go.
Where would the wall be so I'll be at the right place?
I'd say you'd stand where you are right now, basically in the middle. I'd say Sabani's a little bit more in the back. There we go. And this is how we will start combat. Roll your initiatives. Basically, as always, straight up winner is the only thing that matters there. What is the highest roll we have so far?
21 by Saban.
All right, 21. Okay, Saban, you go first. You suddenly see those dark figures emerge, completely black with the silhouette of cult members.
Well, by the way, a rule question.
Yes.
Can we decide if we want someone of us to go first? Can we just decide that we don't want to roll?
In the same way that you can, what you can do is you can hold your action, and after holding your action, you can say somebody else goes, and once whatever your hold action thing is, for example, you say, I want to hold my action and shots forward when it gets into melee distance or something like that. Once that thing triggers, you do your action.
Yeah.
But you can only
Right.
hold actions, not right your turn.
Yeah, you can basically only do hold action, but you can't hold the entire turn.
So you can't just say that I wanna fail my roll.
You can't. What you're saying is you. No, because I'll tell you this right now. They rolled higher than 18.
No, in future cases.
Just to give initiative to the next best person.
Yeah, or like if you see that one of us rolls, for an example, a 21, can the rest just say that, okay, we're fine with that?
I'm not sure I understand what you want. You want to be able to
Basically-
decide who goes first of your team.
And basically the chance, like if someone hits like 21, not the best thing, like 17, 18, there is a chance that someone will roll higher.
Yes.
So can you just say that I don't want to roll higher? So can I just
Yes,
leave
you
myself
could,
not?
but I would generally not recommend it. Again, because out of character, I will tell you right now, if you wanted to give it to the 18, somebody may have rolled in between those numbers. In future cases, I will handle
I
it.
know, I'm just asking it.
Okay. So, yes, you could do that,
chance that
but I
there's
don't really understand why you would want to take that risk.
In the off chance that there sometimes may be a situation like that. Yeah. I don't think I can do much else than do. What is the 5e terminology? Dash or run to double my speed?
Dash.
Yes, it's dash.
So I will dash there.
Excellent. On this pedestal, by the way, is the occult dagger.
Hmm.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah. We'll have drop the cloth from my sword. Keep that in one hand, and did I get something for the rats or not?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, so the rats are in the other hand.
One hand to the rats bumbling around, and the other.
Yeah.
So basically, Saban is rushing towards them with a cape that is just squeaking in terror.
No, I think I'm basically choke holding the rats, if I remember correctly.
I thought you were holding them by the tails, but okay.
Well, tails, choke hold. Anyway, they're not in the cape.
All right. So, who do you give your next turn to, or is there anything else you would like to do?
I don't think there's much else I can do, so I think I'm just gonna give my turn to Notchim.
Alright, I have 40 feet of movement, right?
You have 30 feet of movement normally. Yes.
In that
Daniel's a tricky
case-
bastard, putting exactly 35 feet.
Oh, Dan. Oh, well. Dan, that is cruel. But yes, I will also dash on over there and I will go over here. This seems like a nice place to go.
All right. Your team is immediately backing you up. Is there anything else you want to do?
And if you dash, you can also move in close.
Yeah, you could move closer, but
Yeah.
this is a good position.
No, I think this is. Yeah, I think this is good for the time being, at least.
Yeah. Okay. So
Unless I can go like one square closer. in
You
which
can
case
do
you
that.
also
If you dash, you
Okay.
can have 60 feet of movement.
yes, exactly.
Okay, I will do that. I will, end my turn with me being here. My sword is drawn, my shield is drawn. I'm ready, I'm waiting.
Okay, who goes next?
Next, I will have. I think I will have the enemy in front of me go.
Okay, so this shadow here. Okay.
Yes.
That shadow will attack Rika.
What?
What?
And impose disadvantage on him.
Yes, you can. Is something the matter?
Huh?
Is something the matter? You look.
No, it's just. I was like, why is he going after the tiny little woman? I am a
things-
grown man, and I am
stealing-
charging
the
him with a sword and a fucking.
This thing stealing all the stuff from the pedestals.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you reasons why creatures go don't go, but those are assumptions for you to make. But I just want to point out that this is a very fair assumption. Anyway,
I swear to God, I'm gonna put Rika on a leash if she keeps.
but
this
yeah,
up.
what I
Do not
want.
She's
wonder.
also not tiny. She's
Okay.
5'11" and 132
So,
pounds.
Oh,
The shadow-
yes,
Not
yes,
tiny.
he's
The
bigger
shadow
than me, I
will
forgot.
attack Rika. Just to be clear that you know, because of the rule changes we made to it, you can use protection if you want to try and make her harder to hit.
I will try just that. Yes.
Excellent. You do that then? I will have to roll. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Because of you protecting it, it in fact scratches your shield. And, yeah, it only gets one attack. So, but it can still move about, and it decides to. Sure, it will decide to move closer. And it gives its next turn to the other one, which also moves directly towards Saban, and you see it coming, and it moves straight up through you. It also seems to be tunnel focusing on Rika. And will also make an attack on her. Missing, sadly. As it tries to go in for a swipe, Rika quickly ducks under it, and they manage to hit nothing. Thus, it is Rika's turn. You're being
We
surrounded.
have an AC of 13. These idiots are useless.
You're surrounded by two shadowy creatures who seem to be only interested in you right now.
Alright, so I'm gonna hit the one. Between Septimus and me.
Okay.
With a firebolt.
Firebolt, go ahead.
God.
That misses. As you try to do so, its form, its ghastly form, travels away, and you just hit the wall behind it, breaking some of it off, and it falls to the ground. Who goes next? You can go again if you want.
Saban can go next.
Saban.
All right. I'm gonna try to hit it with the sword.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try and do a thrust attack. No, wait, a vertical slash.
Okay.
A bit harder for it to dodge that, but
As you do, you're quite sure that your aim is steady. You have done so before with a lot of creatures. However, this creature isn't completely there, and you feel your sword slowly go through it. You still deal damage, but it's less than on any normal creature, a corporal creature. Yes. These creatures are almost ghastly. Who goes next? It's like swinging your sword through thick water.
Gonna give the turn to Rika and shout to Septimus that better have the silver sword.
Should have already given it to Septimus to give him his reaction back. Alright.
Does he only get it back when his turn begins?
When his turn begins, he gets all of his action types back. So action, bonus action, also reaction, yes.
No, because the reaction doesn't come on the start of the round.
No.
Oh, well in that case, Septimus.
Okay, Septimus.
All right. I'm going to try to basically. I picture the creature is kind of reaching towards Rika, so I will try to chop off its arms using the
Okay.
silver sword.
Go ahead. The one in front of you.
Yes, exactly.
You hit! You do hit. Go ahead. In the same way as you also, Saban's strike went through it, yours also goes through. You feel some resistance, and you clearly do deal some damage through it, as it seems that the smoke needs to regenerate itself where you slashed it away. But it clearly seems like you're not really hurting it in the sense you would with any traditional other creatures. It doesn't even seem to really recognize your presence whatsoever, though it does react to the pain you are inflicting upon it. Who goes next?
Okay, who has gone already?
The only people who you can still choose are both of these shadow creatures and Rika.
Okay. Then I'm gonna choose the shadow creature that I just chopped up.
Oh, right. The shadow
Do
creature.
I need to wait for my turn to say something as Saban?
You can say something right now. As I say, I do not have any impediments on speech.
Rika, drop the items.
Alright. Shadow's creature's turn. It will attack Rika. Surprise, surprise. And it will do so normally, it seems. It will fuck that up. Already, it seems like because there has been a tear where its arm was, it seems to not have completely regenerated as the smoke seems to dangle as it tries to claw at you, missing you entirely again. And it gives its next turn not to the other shadow creature, but to Rika.
Motherfucker. So, alright, I'm gonna put the bowl back on the pedestal.
Alright. There does not seem to be any visible reason or indication that they seem to have changed their mind about you. If it has something to do with the ball specifically, the damage seems to have already been done. Putting it back does not seem to have made them any less hostile.
Well, great.
You still have an action.
Alright then.
Are we thinking about...
Yeah. I'm just gonna firebolt the one I firebolted before, so the one between me and Septimus.
Okay, go ahead. Mind you, you're also rolling with disadvantage. But, yeah, you miss.
Wait, why am I rolling with disadvantage?
Because you're in melee with them.
I'm pretty sure that isn't a thing in 5e.
It completely and utterly is. If you're melee with somebody and you make a ranged attack, also ranged spell attacks, you roll with disadvantage. The only thing that does not apply to is if you make some sort of spell that requires them to make a save, in which case there is no drawback.
Yeah. Or if you're using a bow and you have the archer fighting style.
Exactly. But anyway, that was your turn, I assume? Or is there anything else you would like to do?
Alright, yeah.
Anything else you would like to do? In which case, it is the other shadow's turn, which decides to also attack you once again. They seem to be completely uninterested in anyone else. What's your AC?
13.
What?
13.
For heaven's sake, they miss you again. If they were some sort of cultist during their lifetime, it seems that they were clearly not high ranking in any way, because those are complete fuck ups. Anyway, at least strategically they seem to have gained an edge, because now that they've shared their turns, they can decide to immediately act again. And the one who just attacked you decides, you know what, I'll try that again.
To be fair, I guess they may be finding out it's a lot easier to stab someone who is tied down on an altar as opposed to
Very
someone
true.
who is moving.
Anyway, now it actually managed to hit. It grabs you by the chest, and you feel how your life energy is draining. You take 6. No, hang on. No, you take 8 necrotic damage. 8 necrotic damage, and you reduce your strength score by 1. Got that?
Yeah.
Now it's the other creature's turn. The other creature also manages to hit. Now they are both grasping you, and they seem to actually have you on lockdown. And they deal... hang on. 14 necrotic damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
But not dead, hopefully.
Oh yeah, no, but it's
Also reduce your strength score by 1 again.
yeah, I'm unconscious.
Alright. You're down for the count. With that, they give the turn to you. Please roll me a death saving throw. Okay, so that's
failures.
2 failures.
That's
Who
2
do you
failures.
give your turn to? Maybe this would be a good time to actually go over that whole potion thing. Yeah. Who has the next turn?
You could have helped me. Not get hit. But alright.
Oh yeah, disadvantage by protection.
She hasn't used it. I had
Yeah,
waited for
she-
pause.
Yeah.
I have paused.
Wait, hold on. Hold on just a minute. It wasn't during my turn.
No, you can use
No,
it.
yeah.
You can use
It's
it when
during other people's turn, not
you
during
use
yours.
your reaction. Whenever
Ah, okay.
It's kind of hard to disrupt an attack on your turn.
we can
Yeah,
we can
okay.
go about it. We can go through that again at the end of the session if you're unclear about it.
No, yeah. Could I do that now that I protected her?
No,
now?
I'm sorry. I cannot allow that.
It's okay. I have a potion.
And you are within 5 feet of her as well. Anyway, whose turn is next? Is it next? Rika, it's your decision.
Septimus, sure. why not?
Septimus, what do you do?
I'm sheathing my blade. I am grabbing Rika and I'm dragging her away.
Okay.
So I will take the. I know that I'm gonna get, an attack of opportunity, but I'll take it. I'm getting her out of there,
All right.
and I'm dragging her as far away from these things as I possibly can.
Move your token as to where you want to move. You can move half your speed while dragging somebody.
Okay, so that would be
15 feet.
15.
Yes.
Here is fine.
Okay. I'll say, since you want to get her as far away as possible, you put her on the opposing end of the monster. The monster
Yeah.
does not attack you. In fact, it seems completely fine. It seems inactive now that Rika is down.
Can I give her a potion since I have her there?
No, dragging her, I'd say, already takes your action up. But you can give your turn to Saban if you want to.
Well, I noticed that as soon as we got away from there, the things didn't attack us, so I'm gonna call out to Saban. Get away from these things. Come over here.
Yeah, I noticed. Bond's turn.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Are they still looking at Rika? Like, did they turn their gaze? Did they follow?
No, they
Hello.
don't. They seem to be absolutely content. They do not appear to be doing anything right now. They're just looking stationary, like
Right.
robots or skeletons that you've seen before, just standing there, looking straight ahead of themselves.
Alright, in that case, Saban is gonna pick up the cloth from the sword, wrap his sword, kind of wrap it around the sword and try to get a hold of it. Move towards Rika and feed Rika potion.
All right. Roll that potion thing and remove it from your character sheet.
Potion of healing, but how much was it?
Oh,
I don't have that listed. for
did
some
we
reason.
not say that at the time? It's
I
okay.
think it was 1d8 plus 4.
That could be it.
If I didn't specify, I'll just look it up real quick again because I may have forgotten as well. Actually, hang on, I should probably say here somewhere. I think potion.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2d4
That.
plus 2.
there you go. That. So you can roll that and add that to your thing.
10.
All right. You regain 10 hit points. You're also conscious again, but you are still prone. Sabana, I assume, well, you have to give your turn to those two shadows, and they look at the objects on the pedestals and go
I mean, I
back.
can give the turn back to us.
No, because they haven't acted yet. No, they have acted.
No, they
yet.
did.
Yes,
They
okay,
did.
please. Go ahead. What would you like to do? Who knows? Maybe they'll attack when the turn comes around. It's a mystery!
To be fair, I was kind of planning on letting them have to turn anyway, but
Okay, so if you give it them the turn, that is what they'll do. They will return to their places and start to disappear in them after they have looked at the objects on the pedestal. Rika, as you
I'm
come,
tempted to see what would happen if we destroyed the hand.
Rika, as you come back to, you find them gone, and well, you are alive. Although remember that drain on your strength that persists for now.
Until the next long rest, yes, I know.
You don't know that. It could be forever for all you know.
I know these creatures. No. These are very fun creatures, just saying. Yeah. Right.
Are you alright?
Well, feeling a little drained, but otherwise, I'm fine.
Septimus,
So,
now that you're actually thinking about it, this could have possibly been the whole proving themselves that it said in the writing on the wall, perhaps. Maybe.
many
Perhaps the
people
writing on
were
the
gonna
wall.
find shadows.
Maybe this is what the writing on the wall warned us about. These things, they don't have a lot of merit. They're mostly for show. And they're describing an occult initiation, which includes the 3 items that you tried to stash, my friend.
Rika,
Shouldn't touch everything you see.
at this moment that you two realize that Rika is the sort of person who just tries things without a reason reading the user manual, so...
Listen, I'm not criticizing her. I know well enough to know that that's not going to work. I'm just saying.
Mind you, at any point if she had looked at the writing, she would have immediately been able to read it because she understands the language.
I know.
She just chose to not do that or even attempt it.
She was kind of, occupied with other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, losing.
Yes, with
pedestals.
kleptomania.
I mean, there are still 5 objects on this wall over here that you haven't picked
Yeah.
up yet.
I mean, after carefully reading what's written on the wall. You know.
But then maybe this means that these objects are even more valuable.
Yeah. Bond will get back up from kneeling down, pick up his sword.
Wait, what is the exact words of what's said, what's written on the wall?
It describes the purpose of each or individual one of these objects, and after going through with the ritual of, letting blood into the bowl, which you emptied, I remind you, the initiate is to prove themselves. Considering the writing, it is a bit unclear because he didn't really do any of the previous steps mentioned to annoy them. There is a few possibilities. Either the mere touching of it initiated them, or maybe emptying the bowl was kind of a dick move and angered them. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was a bowl.
A now empty bowl, yes, with red liquid inside, which you placed
Yeah,
on the floor.
There was a bowl,
Yes, there was a bowl, a dagger, and a helmet. All of them looking very ritually.
You know what? I'm just not gonna talk. I was considering seeing if I could game the system, but maybe just letting it be.
Drink the bowl, wear the helmet, and kill the things with the dagger.
Make the people here proud.
I don't want to.
I mean, you're already wearing the occult robes, so like any ghost there would be like, they're following into our shoes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna power them some damn cult to some Von Strahd.
You're already wearing the robes. Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not part of the cult. It's disguise.
Of course, of course.
Imagine if that was a cult, like you sold your soul to them by wearing their clothes. Anyone who would try to...
He's writing! What are you doing? You're crazy!
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that would be a very effective way against moles. Anyone who would dress up to disguise as them would...
It's a pretty smart spell, though.
Yeah, that's...
Is there anything else you would like to do in this room? As I said, there's two...
I'd like to take the 5 other things on the opposing wall.
Alright!
Okay, so
we've
clearly
learned
we
nothing!
didn't listen.
So...
Yeah.
Oh, I learned my lesson. The things on the pedestals I shouldn't touch.
Okay, so the next 5 things. You find a dead frog on a stick, which could be some sort of wand or something. You find a bag full of bad guano. You find...
What's a bad guano?
That shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You find a single dismembered finger that looks old. You also find a 6-inch tall wooden figure of a mummy. You know, classic mummy, arms crossed and everything. You find 6-inch. You find an iron pendant adorned with a devil's face. You also find a sort of voodoo head of a halfling. So, you know, one of those shrunken heads.
And do we know the devil head is of a devil and not a tiefling?
It is a devil. You know, devils are actual creatures. You actually don't know. Maybe you haven't seen them before, but it's not a tiefling. Definitely not a tiefling.
Well, it's good to know the pack doesn't end up here.
And you find a small wooden coffer containing a direwolf's withered tongue. You find a tongue.
We found a wooden coffin
with a tongue inside.
With a tongue.
Yes.
Of a canine creature.
Yes, quite possibly. Who knows? It's hard to guess.
Yes.
Anyway.
I mean, that guano is one of the spell components for Fireball. So that's nice to have.
Hmm. Although you do have an arcane focus, don't you? No,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm a sorcerer. I don't really,
I'm just saying.
but I still need components.
Unless there's anything else you would like to do in this room, like, I don't know, interact with objects, there's 2 ways to exit it, other than a staircase that leads back the way you came, which is in this direction.
Okay. Is there anything else that would, is there anything else that seems interesting other than the writing on the wall, the various items? Are there footsteps on the ground? Are there?
An interesting thought, yes.
There are?
An interesting thought, yes. As you do look about, you do find... Well, okay, first of all, this place is quite dusty, so you can actually see some dusty and also some places muddy. What's over here in the corner? You do find some footsteps that lead into this room and all around it. There's no specific way they go or don't go. They do go into this direction, and over in this direction, because you're specifically looking in the floor, you also notice that around this area there are no footsteps whatsoever. In fact, the ground looks a lot more moisturized in this area.
Are you saying it's dank?
It's watery?
Moist?
Moist, yes, yes, yes.
So it's dank.
Sure, why not? It's slippery. Yes, there should be a sign here, really.
Okay, do the walls seem solid?
They do seem solid, aside from that one place where a fire blast basically broke some of the wall off. Who knows how that happened? But yeah, other than that, they do look quite solid. In fact, they're made out of brick, it seems. Not only that, they seem to be made of quite an interesting architectural... like, it looks like the people who actually worked here knew what they were doing. It looks quite impressive, in fact.
Well,
Anything else?
before we go, after Septimus makes sure that, Rika is fine, back on her feet and, back to doing what she does best.
Fire blast! Fire
He
blast!
He's gonna go over to the part of the wall that she was able to shoot off with a firebolt and just kind of knock on the wall.
It is,
see how solid it is.
It is solid. Quite solid.
No sign, no indication that some of this wall is a different, material.
If you're looking for hidden passageways, I must disappoint you. There does not seem to be anything. This place was clearly built to last, and it appears that it has done so, since it also appears quite old. Some places the stone seems withered. There are a few cracks somewhere if you look very closely. But overall, if you don't look too closely, it looks quite well maintained even.
Okay. Alright then.
But
is there any way of knowing how old these footsteps are on the floor? Or how recent?
Roll me investigation. Or survival.
Let's see, what do I have? I don't think that's going to be enough.
Can I try to see?
You can try to assist each other.
Just gonna try with survival instead of investigation.
Alright. If Septimus would like to assist you. Oh wait, have you already rolled? Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, with investigation, it's really kind of hard to tell, to be honest, because you think logically, like, to have those sort of footprints, like with dust, it would have to be somewhat recent in a dusty area. But this doesn't really add up in any way. Or was it really old? I mean, there's some dust in the footprints themselves. You don't really know. It's weird.
What about the things that Rika found? What about the frog on a stick? Have I read, anything in the books that I've read about such things?
The occult.
Frog,
Um,
frog on a stick, dismembered finger, or the iron pendant. Do any of these items ring a bell or
what are you
have any
specifically looking for? Like its usage in the occult or in the arcane?
Can I try for both?
Okay, but which one first?
Let's go with the occult for starters,
Okay.
because it does seem to be a common theme in this place.
Roll me a religion for that, because occult is kind of religion, isn't it? Yeah.
Religion.
What is a cult if not religion, really?
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, that's quite interesting. A lot of these objects are quite commonplace to be seen in the occult, and some of them are meant to have positive effects. As for the finger, for example, you think it might be the finger of a hag, which is meant to, bring with itself the powers associated with that creature. But, these are all just superstitions and beliefs. If they actually do any such thing is unclear. But there are symbols and beliefs behind each and every one of these objects.
Do I have reason to fear that one of them is dangerous to the person holding them?
In the occult sense?
Yes.
Well, it depends on how much you really believe in the legends and everything. But most of these objects seem to be more, if anything, dangerous to the people who aren't holding them. The only way in which they could perhaps be dangerous to the person holding them is if they knew enough to know how to properly use them, but were too stupid to properly use them. So in other words, it would probably be hard to somehow accidentally kill yourself with any such things, assuming the superstitions were to be believed in the first place. So let's say the hag swinger were to really work, you would first have to figure out how to really make it work and not be stupid enough to hold it in the wrong direction, basically pointing at yourself.
Okay. And now, if no one else wants to do anything, I would like to look at them through, the arcane sense.
Alright, roll me Arcana for that. I mean, the obvious part of that is that some of these things can just be straight up be used as magic components. Rika has already pointed it out, as she herself uses one of those spell components, so she knows. And some of these seems quite useful. Other of those can seem to perhaps be layout for spells. For example, the old frog on a stick looks very similar to how some wands look. So it seems that some of them might be able to be used as spell components or as parts of creating magical items.
By a bolt that requires bad guano, but fireball, the third level spell.
Yes, sorry.
So I can't use it.
Yet.
Yeah.
The moment Rika gets fireball, we're all screwed.
I'm gonna ask Rika if I can have the dismembered finger. If she doesn't mind if I hold on to it. If it's alright with you, I'd like to have it.
Yeah.
For now,
she
at
hands
least.
it over.
Thank you.
You
He's
have
gonna put it in his pocket.
You have an old shriveled finger in your pocket now. It smells a little.
Okay.
It's a dead finger. What did you think?
I thought that it would be mummified. Like,
Oh no, it is not. It is very much
okay,
not.
if it starts wiggling, I'm gonna throw it out and step on it.
You remain in complete silence, eerie silence, since considering before, you heard chanting all the way through. You remain here, in this display room of sorts. I would also... What would the party like to do next?
Road less traveled or the other one?
Display, you muted? Are you aware
I
of
think
that?
the road less traveled.
Which one are you looking at? Which one do you want to go through?
Do I have any opinion on where we should go?
No, not really. We already rolled to see which one of the doors is more used, so I can't really help with that.
You do know that one is wetter. Also, they're not doors, they're pathways. You can also, walk to them, look inside. What I will also say is that this one leads downwards, while this one does not.
Which one leads downwards?
The one where you saw moist ground.
Okay.
Could explain the moistness.
I think this first would be a good idea. Just to see what's in there.
Shall we take the road less traveled by?
Well, if it leads downwards, it might not lead to where we want to go first, and that might not be the best idea. Just so we can explore more.
You lagged
So
much
we
for
can
me.
explore some more.
He says that
Maybe
he
not going-
believes that going the downwards place is where you maybe the place you want to go
Down
is.
where we're probably supposed to go, so going through the smaller. Right now,
Alright.
for our current task, it
The
is
other one
where
it
we're
is then.
supposed to go.
Okay, so you're going to the one that seems to be still, generally the same. The one that's not in moist territory.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yes,
Do we have a torch?
I believe so. Otherwise, you would have been in
Okay.
complete darkness so far. Last time I checked, I believe Rika had the torch.
Last time I checked, there were torches on the walls.
Oh, yes. Whoops. Yes, there are torches on the walls! Yes!
Lit torches? This is terrifying. In which
But,
order should we go in the room?
Now that we mention it, lit torches, this way is dark. As is the other.
Yeah. Rika does have a torch as well. She slashed a zombie with it.
Oh, yes. I recall that one all too well.
Yeah.
Well, if you push down this corridor, will any of you pull out torches? Because as you go further, the lights of the entrance onto torches in here start to get dimmer and dimmer, and you find yourself on a long, winding pathway.
Well, are there still torches on the wall, just not lit ones, or
Yes,
are
precisely.
they just? All right, so I'm just.
Well,
gonna
not
light
that
the
you would
torches.
see unless you light the torch first, and then there's
Well,
torches.
I'm just gonna light the torches as we go.
Yes. All right. So as you do, you realize you find yourself in a dungeon. There's several small rooms along the pathway. or some of them chained shut, but most of them are open. Inside, each of them, well, not each of them, some of them seem to have been occupied by skeletons at this point. Some chained to the wall, some chained simply mid-air, hanging from the ceiling. Most of them not having a good time. And most of them are also in robes, black ones.
Must have forgotten the safe word.
Not all of them, though. One of the skeletons you do find there, though, is not in the robes, but rather more fancy clothing.
What kind of clothing? Male, female?
Female. A dress.
Familiar dress, or
Not to any of you, no.
Hmm.
It is, if you're wondering, not Elizabeth Dorst's dress you saw in the paintings.
Fancy dress, like incredibly fancy, or is it just kind of
Quite fancy. You would believe this would have belonged to a noblesse.
Right. Is it in good condition?
Not anymore, no. It
Oh.
seems to have torn in different places, and in one of its pockets there is a tissue hanging out of.
does the tissue have initials, MK or something like that?
Yes, even better, it has a name, Coliana.
Yeah.
It
So it's Maggie Coliana.
As you keep exploring down this hallway, you find yourself at a dead end. It does not appear to be anything more than cells and prisons all around here, with corpses lying about. Some of them bigger than others.
It's in the dress. What's the rest? It's
You do not find anything living here.
Do they seem to be like? Are all of them what appear to be prisons, cells, or
All
are
of them
they
appear.
living quarters?
All of them appear to be prison cells. In fact, there is not even anything that even shows any sign that these prisoners were supposed to live here for longer periods of time. Most of the dead you find here are either chained or in a pile.
on Polyana's corpse. Does the dress have pockets?
Oh, sorry, I must have. I think you said that multiple times. Sorry, I didn't really
Yes.
understand that. If the dress itself has any pockets,
Yes.
you want to loot her body, is what I'm guessing?
Yes,
Yes.
I want to loot her body.
Go ahead, roll me an investigation or perception.
Um,
If nothing else, Rika is very good at angering those spirits.
Oh yeah. You know, really pissing off ghosts by trying to ruin everything they stood for. Anyway, you look about, and you do not find any pockets in any of the normal big pockets on her body, and the small ones don't appear to have anything on them. In fact, it appears that anything worthwhile they must have taken off her a long time ago. But as you think about that, a shiver runs down your spine as a breath of cold air comes down your neck.
so without looking behind me, I'm just gonna look at
You're doing what?
without looking at what is behind me. If there's anything behind me, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna walk out.
Okay, so
Chris is a bit robotic.
what you're doing is you're not going to turn around. You're going to make a point to just sort of squabble to the exit.
Yes.
Okay, you do that. You're outside.
Anything
Nothing
for me.
happens.
Yes,
You still feel a little creepy and, a bit cold, like something run down your spine, but nothing happens. And if you do look back into the room, you see nothing. Oh dear. Oh no, we lost one. Chris, was there anything that... Okay, someone's back. But anyway, Chris, anything else about that situation?
No, that's
Okay.
Hey,
Leah, welcome
you
back.
guys lagged for me.
Hope everything's
Sorry,
alright.
everything lagged, so I left and came back.
Alright. Is there anything else you would like to do here in this dungeon? This place of sorrow and pain.
Pray for the cultists. Pray that their souls find rest,
Yeah. That's the same.
regardless of how they
Wondering,
die.
are the chains, how sturdy are they looking? Do they look a few 100 years old or not?
Oh yeah, they look... Okay, maybe not exaggerating too much. You know, you chunk a little bit on them, and they are rusted. Definitely that. If they...
Could I, by using the hand axe, could I break the chains?
You think you could, yes.
Using one hand.
I'm gonna say yes, you're strong enough for that.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do then.
Alright, so you go through the dungeon, cutting off all of the chains, and all of the bodies fall to the floor.
Yeah.
With a clunking and clickering of bones.
Yeah. Wish them eternal peace in wherever they are.
Dust gets thrown about as well as you do that onto the floor.
It's a good thing I don't have asthma.
And as you do that, roll me perception, Desper.
Why perception? I'm not good at
Oh,
perception.
no reasons. Go ahead. Okay. As the dust comes thrown up into the air, you feel like, just for a moment, before the dust settles again, you saw some light beams in the dust cloud. But just as you saw it, it settles again, and you're uncertain what that even was. The light was odd. Imagine such thing as a dark light, if you can.
No, right?
Let's say bluish stains of light. That seems about right.
No, right? Have my rat fellas gotten used to being dangled off? Or...
Oh no, they're still very much trying to... In fact, you suspect one of them has killed the other.
I thought
What is
you
he
were
killed?
supposed to be friends. One of the rats has killed the other rat.
They were in quite a
What
frenzy,
did he kill?
honestly. Still are. One of the rats seems to have killed the other.
Rat. Yeah.
And it's still furiously scratching about.
Yeah.
Septimus, what are you doing while all of this happening?
So much lag. I don't know what you guys said.
Well, they
One
couldn't...
of the rats ate another rat. What are you doing?
You're in the dungeon. Dead people all about.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Saban
I'm
is cutting them
going
off the
to
chains.
say a prayer for them, hoping that, you know, they find rest despite the choices that they made in their lives. And at the same time, I'm gonna be... When I'm done praying, I'm gonna go pat, you know, the dead end, just to make sure that it is a dead end.
Mm-hmm. It is a dead end. Hello? Oh no.
Yeah, she keeps like.
The dead end seems to be quite certainly to be...
She hasn't connected back yet.
Oh, well, hey, hello, greetings. There you are.
Hello again.
Should we change the server, or has somebody already tried that?
I just did that.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
just
the
keep
only
it in
way.
Russia.
Anyway, you're checking for
European
secret
service
doors. Are you
provides.
specifically only checking the dead ends, or I'll give you the benefit of the
Well,
doubt.
I'm gonna start with the dead end, and if that doesn't
Investigation.
bring us all in a little.
Investigation.
Dead end. Investigate the dead end. If there's nothing there, then something.
Investigation.
Yes. Finally, somebody rolls decently. So, remember the place where Desper threw up dust and he saw like some blue light from somewhere? I wonder what that was. Well, turns out there was a secret door there. You realize that also appears to be the same room in which there was a cold breath that Chris's character felt. Yes, appears that there is a place where some air seems to be getting through and some lights. With a little bit more investigating, you find that there is a secret door there. Leading to a different place.
Can I try to open it?
Absolutely.
Does it seem locked or
No. In fact,
rusty?
It seems to have been created in the same way the initial secret door that you saw in the mannequin room was. So all you need to do is put your hands in the sockets. Do you put the hands in the sockets?